Since global oil prices inflation, have you noticed how expensive it is to drive? Whether it's conflict in the Middle East, supply disruptions, or uncertainty in the global energy market, motorists are usually the first to feel it every time they stop at the petrol station. We can't control global energy prices, but we can control how much energy our own cars need to get us from one place to another. Do you know which type of car to buy that will give you the best value for money while using the least amount of energy? In this video, I'm comparing 3 different types of cars based on their energy efficiency, running costs, reliability, and everyday practicality. This isn't a sponsored video. Everything you're about to hear is based on real-world driving and publicly available information. There isn't one perfect car for everyone. The best choice depends on where you live, how far you drive, and whether you can charge at home. Let's find out which one belongs in your garage. Type 1, self-charging hybrid. Meet Sarah. Sarah lives in a city apartment. Her car spends most of its life in stop-start traffic. She doesn't have a driveway, can't install a home charger, and doesn't want the hassle of relying on public charging stations. If you're like Sarah, a self-charging hybrid is one of the smartest choices you can make. Cars like the Toyota Yaris Hybrid and Renault Clio E-Tech recover energy every time they slow down through regenerative braking. Instead of wasting that energy as heat, they store it in a battery and reuse it to help power the car away from traffic lights or through slow-moving traffic. That makes them much more energy efficient than a conventional petrol car, especially around town. Many UK drivers using these 2 cars regularly achieve between 55 and well over 60 miles per gallon without ever plugging the car into a charger. Compared with a typical petrol car averaging around 40 miles per gallon, that's enough to save roughly £400 to £700 every year for someone driving around 10,000 miles. Toyota hybrids have also built one of the strongest reliability records in the automotive industry, helping owners avoid costly, unexpected repairs. For Sarah, a self-charging hybrid is simple, efficient, and economical. Type 2, fully electric cars. Now meet James. Unlike Sarah, James has one big advantage: a driveway. Every evening he plugs his car in before going to bed and charges it overnight using a cheaper off-peak electricity tariff. That completely changes the maths. Whether it's a Tesla Model 3 or an MG4 EV, fully electric cars are incredibly energy efficient because most of the electricity stored in the battery is used to move the car instead of being wasted as heat. Many achieve around 4 miles for every kilowatt hour of electricity. There are no oil changes, no exhaust system, and far fewer moving mechanical parts than a petrol car, meaning lower routine maintenance over time. When charged mainly at home, an EV can cost as little as 2 to 3 pence per mile to drive. Compare that with roughly 16 to 18 pence per mile for a typical petrol car, and someone driving 10,000 miles a year could save between £1,200 and £1,600 annually on energy costs alone. Just remember, those savings depend largely on charging at home. Public rapid charging is usually much more expensive. For James, an electric car offers the biggest long-term savings. Type 3, plug-in hybrid. Finally, let's meet Emma. Emma's week looks very different. Most weekdays she drives less than 20 miles, but once every month she and her family travel hundreds of miles across the country. She likes the idea of an electric car, but isn't ready to depend entirely on public charging during longer journeys. For Emma, a plug-in hybrid is the perfect compromise. Take the Kia Niro plug-in hybrid, for example. It offers around 40 miles of electric-only driving, enough for many people's daily commute when it's charged regularly. Once the battery is depleted, the petrol engine takes over automatically, allowing longer journeys without worrying about where the next charging point is. Because most of Emma's weekday driving is powered by electricity, she could save approximately £700 to £1,100 every year compared with driving a similar petrol SUV, while still having the freedom to drive anywhere in the country. She gets the efficiency of electric driving during the week and the flexibility of petrol whenever she needs it. The biggest mistake people make. Before you decide which of these cars is right for you, there's one mistake I see people making repeatedly. They choose a car because of the technology instead of the way they drive. Some people buy a fully electric car because they think it's automatically the cheapest option. But if they rely mostly on expensive public rapid chargers, the savings can disappear very quickly. Others avoid electric cars altogether because they're worried about range. Yet they only drive 10 or 15 miles each day. For those drivers, an EV could easily complete almost every journey while costing far less to run. The opposite also happens. Some people buy a plug-in hybrid, but rarely plug it in. That means they're carrying around a heavy battery they hardly ever use, making the car less efficient than it could be. So before buying any green car, ask yourself 3 simple questions. Can I charge at home? How many miles do I normally drive each day? And how often do I make long journeys? Answer those honestly, and the right car becomes much easier to choose. The best car isn't necessarily the newest one. It's the one that uses the least amount of energy for your lifestyle. The 3 lessons in this video. If you don't have access to home charging, a self-charging hybrid is often the most practical and cost-effective choice. If you can charge at home and drive regularly, a fully electric car can deliver the lowest day-to-day running costs. And if your life is a mix of short weekday commutes and regular long-distance trips, a plug-in hybrid gives you the best balance of efficiency and flexibility. Again, the most sustainable car isn't the one with the latest technology, but the one that uses the least energy for the way you drive. So, which driver are you? Sarah, James, or Emma? If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe to Smarter Green Living, and share this video with someone who's thinking about buying their next car. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.